Okay, so I haven't actually opened this myself, so you guys are going to join along with me. Let's go ahead and do it together. Okay, get that out of there. Oh, let's get this out, guys. Now, this is very, very heavy. So, when you guys want to mount this guy, you guys probably want to do it where it's very, very safe and not going to be falling everywhere. But it seems like there's handles right here where all right. Woo. All right, guys, here we go. So welcome to my new pressure washer. This is the 𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗪 630 TSS total stop system. So yeah, this thing is sweet. Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and unbox this and then share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and continue. And this is it, guys. Here, out of the box. This is the 𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗪 630 TSS. This is the total stop system. So what that means is when you let go of the trigger on your spray gun, basically the system stops. It's basically full pressurized very quick. This is a pressure adjustment knob up here, but I don't see a lot of guys or detailers using that. The only reason why I went with this system is, you guys can see that this is a beefy pump. It's a triplex pump with ceramic pistons. But basically, beyond all that, it pushes out a lot of water. It pushes out, you know, a lot of pressure for what you need. And you don't need too much pressure for cleaning cars anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this up on the wall, guys, and just kind of share you guys on how I set it up here in my home garage. This is the 𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗪, again, 630 TSS. The TSS stands for total stop system. That total stop system is actually this thing right here. So basically what that does is when you let go of this trigger here, sorry, just a little bit of water in there. But when you let go of the trigger there, it basically stops the system from running. So it's quieter, the operation, it's just much smoother and overall more pleasant experience. Okay, so we are going from the water source. It's gonna run down, that hose runs behind our water softener. This thing was actually broken last time. I don't know if you guys saw in the video where we're installing the flooring, but this was a whole nother unit. So we had a separate softener tank and things like that. But this is a brand new unit where it's all contained in one unit. So that's kind of nice. Now, the water goes inlet into right here on the DI filter. This is a bypass valve. So when it's like this, it's actually just going around like this and not going through and using your DI resins. This stuff is pretty expensive, guys. I believe it's like $250 for 2 refills worth. So you want to be pretty mindful. I know in Southern California, a lot of us here in Southwest, like Arizona and those areas, we get our water from the Colorado River. So that's going to be pretty hard water. It has a lot of calciums, a lot of minerals and things like that. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of problems with spots during your rinses. So this, if you guys can see, the outlet has kind of a two-way valve here. And the reason why I did this is because, one, the water source right now, the valve is on, but you could quickly just turn it off like that. That's running up to the pressure washer. But I did want to kind of share this. If you're ever wanting DI water, this is our bucket filler. So it's just a cheap, you know, again, on Amazon, you can get this fireman nozzle, and this thing fills this 5-gallon bucket in probably like 20 seconds, 25 seconds. So pretty fast. Again, we can do it with DI water, and it's not recommended to run DI a lot of gallons per minute through these DI filters because I don't think they can handle that much. So just make sure, I think you have to stay under 5 gallons per minute and you should be good on that. But the other water source, as you guys can see, runs up here, goes into the machine. Again, it's quick connect. And from there, the outlet, you're gonna have a jumper hose. This is a 5-foot jumper hose. I do have to get some cable management where we're gonna have it on the wall like that. But for right now, I just wanted to show you guys this. Now, this is the part that I wanted to share with you guys on the fitting. This jumper hose, where it was going in, I had two different brands of fittings. One was, I believe, rigid pressure washer, and one was MTM Hydro again, because I had MTM Hydro laying around. And the problem with that was, those two, even though they looked the same and it felt okay and tight when I put it together, under pressure, that thing leaked like crazy. So I recommend whenever you guys are doing these kind of setups, just make sure you stick with one brand. If you're going Mosmatic, stick with Mosmatic. If you're going with MTM Hydro, stick with MTM Hydro. Rigid stays with rigid, and so on. For the most part, I think other things do go well with each other, but you know, especially for these high pressure connections, you just want one brand. So I had to switch all to, I believe, MTM Hydro, and everything's good. This is a 50-foot Kobrajet hose on our MTM Hydro reel, and then from there we have an MTM Hydro Aqualine gun. So this is kind of like their top end gun. I have a gauge here, guys, because I like to be very mindful of what kind of pressure I'm running through these pressure washers, because if you don't know, you know, too high of a pressure can, you know, basically lift paint and take paint off your car. So the last time that we left off, guys, so we finished the Swiss track flooring. Everything is all done to the edges. I have my bottle racks coming here. As you guys can see right now, all my stuff is just everywhere. So this is kind of what we use to detail cars before the paint protection film install. Just so you guys can see our car, that's ours. You know, a lot of people are asking when we drive our vehicle, is this vinyl? Because a lot of people think this is vinyl. No, this is paint protection film. So there is paint protection film out there that is carbon fiber. There's Damascus, and actually, if you look carefully, ours is the matte paint protection film. So it provides a nice satin finish. But yeah, we're gonna run through a lot of those things in our channel. I just wanted to get set up here in our spot. We are out of a home garage, guys. We don't have a big shop. I live in Southern California, and to run a shop out here, we're talking several thousands of dollars a month in rent. So this is something that we wanted to show you guys. If you have the, you know, just the willpower to do it, you can get a nice setup at home, and your customers will appreciate it. So since we have a couple of customers coming in for paint protection film installs, I did want to cover some of the, you know, tools that we use to basically do paint correction, detailing, and polishing for your vehicle. The thing about paint protection film is it's clear. It's not colored or anything, unless you're doing, you know, carbon fiber paint protection film like this. But you know, everything's going to show up. So the defects like to show up through the film. So we want to get it perfect. So let me run through, I guess, my polishers first, and then we'll go through the pads and some of the compounds and polishes that we use, as well as lighting, which is very important. As you guys can see, this is very, very dingy lighting. We only have like one here. I do have some lighting that's on its way with the supply chain, you know, disruptions. There's been quite a bit of delay on the lighting, so we're gonna have it here, and we're gonna replace that fixture with another one there. They're gonna be two 8-foot lighting, CREE LED lighting, and I believe they're 24,000 lumens, both of them combined. So I think that should be plenty for this garage, and it should really help out, again, for the paint protection film installs, as well as the paint correction with this stuff. So in terms of machines, I like to use two machines. Once I went cordless, I stopped using cords. I mean, I do have other machines like the Rupes that has cords still, but I don't really reach for it because, again, these are so comfortable to use, and you just throw a battery on there, and you have a couple of batteries always on deck, and basically you can just swap them out and you never ever run out of battery. So I personally think never having a cord or dragging it along your customer's paint and scratching it is always a plus. So you have this PXE80, which is the little guy. It does 1 inch. You can do, you know, rotary, you can do an orbital and do all kinds of fun stuff with this tool. But it's good for, you know, when you're doing detail work on spoilers, when you're doing very, very tight nooks and crannies, this is perfect for those. So that's my Rupes yellow wool pad and with 1 inch size, and that goes with that machine. And that combination right there is amazing for those tight, really tight recessed body lines and things like that. The next one up is the XCE. I'm not sure the number, but this is their cordless beast is what they call it. So it's like their corded one, which is what they call the beast. This is the cordless version of it. I personally, again, like it. It can do some pretty heavy correction with some of the settings, just depending on the choice of pad and your polish. That's really going to deliver the results that you need. I know, again, a lot of clear coats and things like that are very, very different. So, you know, just having this machine be reliable, you know, in the settings that I know and things like that, it's always a huge plus. Then we're gonna go on to our pads, guys. So I have a whole host of pads. We have our microfiber pads, we have our wool pads, which is actually starting to become some of my favorites because it just does a quick job. And you can finish down pretty nicely with wool pads these days. And then of course we have your foam pads, which I have it in all different variations. We have your fine cut for Koch Chemie's line, heavy cut, we have your micro cut ones as well. So, you know, again, this is a lot of, you know, different types of pads for different types of situations and different things. So we're gonna move on to polishes. We just have an array of them. The Meguiars stuff is actually when I first got started in detailing. Some guys recommended that. To be honest, guys, that's actually more for rotaries. So there's a heavy dusting and all kinds of, you know, things that I don't think beginner detailers would really appreciate with some of this stuff, this compound and polish here. So kind of don't really reach for this, but this is really what I started off with. Then I moved on to Sonax products. Sonax products are okay, a little less dust, but again, you know, I would say it's a little bit more generic to me. You know, I think the guys over at Obsessed Garage, they still love this stuff and just how beautifully it does finish. And this stuff right here, it does finish down quite nicely. So I think this is fantastic stuff still. The next stuff that I really, really like these days is obviously the Koch Chemie stuff. This stuff is awesome. It's really engineered, and those Germans really, really know what they're doing on their compounds and polishes. I almost never really reach for the heavy cut stuff unless it's like a really hard clear coat, like BMWs, Mercedes, and a lot of European cars and stuff like that. So these two I usually go for the most. This thing finishes down amazing. These don't have any fillers in them, so it really is perfect for you know, preparing for ceramic coatings and paint protection film installs. Then I'm actually just trying these out new. This is all of the new Rupes stuff. You have their coarse, you have the fine, and then you have their all-in-one. So the Uno Pure, which is basically a one-step. It's for customers that are not wanting like all the steps here to get it to like a you know, concourse level finish. This is perfect for them because it's you know, less of a budget to do it. It's less time, and for some people it's fine. And then you have Uno Protect, which is actually new, and I haven't tried it yet. But this is the stuff that has a protectant layer, has a sealant that comes and actually bonds with the paint after you polish. So again, you don't have to do a step of wax or sealant after your polish. So it does it all in one thing. And then we have this 3M glass polishing compound, which I use with my felt polishing pads. Now these are great for windshields. So windshields, we also do paint protection film on windshields. Now some vehicles, they're really prone, especially these Teslas, getting rock chips on the windshield, and they're pretty expensive. These cars have a lot of cameras and sensors and whatnot, and once they take out the factory seal of these windshields, it never comes back to its original, you know, form and shape, I think. So I think, you know, windshield protection is pretty, you know, necessary, especially here in Southern California where we just have a lot of debris on the road. But again, this felt polishing pad paired up with this glass polishing compound from 3M is amazing. It really cleans up the windows and it makes it spick and span clean. So then we just have our lights right here, guys. That's just the stuff for, you know, checking your work. This stuff is awesome. There is, actually, you can change the color. So as you guys can see, it can go the bluest setting. So this would be for like your black cars, your dark colored paints and things like that. So it shows imperfections on that. However, you know, like my car is white, so you probably want to go to a warmer setting, because warmer settings will basically pick up more of the imperfections. So yeah, just wanted to share, you know, kind of some of the tools that we use. And then of course we have our headlamp as well, guys. And this is very useful for when you're applying paint protection film. So yeah, just wanted to share that. This is a home garage setup, DIY setup. Again, anyone can actually build this out. Now learning the process and things like that, it really takes, you know, a lot of patience and just learning and asking and learning more. Okay folks, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. We're gonna go ahead and turn the water on. Oops, sorry. I didn't have my gun on. Be right back. Okay, I have the gun back on. So let's do that again. So we're gonna wanna turn this water on. So just make sure. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and turn this bad boy on. That's it. That's that total stop system that we were talking about. And now the pressure washer is fully ready to go. So I did want to share this cool new little attachment that I got. Here it is, guys. This is what they call the Mezzo Lance, and it's actually really cool. Let me go ahead and show you guys what this does. You guys can see right here, this is a standard gun that you guys normally have for your aftermarket pressure washer attachments. But this thing basically allows you to have 2 valves. So if you push this blue button, it'll come out of here, and if you push this red button right here, so what I was planning on doing with this and showing you guys on this wash is we're going to go ahead and put the foam cannon on this side, and then we're going to go ahead and put a 5.0 nozzle on this side. So that way we can go ahead and not disconnect things like that, and hopefully this will save a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So we got this foam cannon filled up with deionized water, and you guys saw my little bucket filler attachment. That's kind of how I could quickly fill these things. Okay guys, it's all set up right here. I have my foam cannon pretty much all set up with Koch Chemie Gentle Snow Foam GSF. This is the stuff I like to use because it is pH balanced. It's not an alkaline soap or anything like that. So it's just really good for leaving a clean, bare surface when you're all done. This car behind us is already ceramic coated, so we don't really need to go and add additional sealants and things like that. So let's go ahead and give this a shot and then see how it does. Yeah, definitely a pretty good foam. What do you guys think? Yeah, you guys can see that. That is shaving cream thick. So yeah, this combination seems to be working really well. I do gotta make a little comment that this thing is pretty heavy. So if you guys don't wanna, you know, deal with that, you just wanna make sure that you understand that this thing's pretty heavy, so. So that was the first wash of our Model Y with the new 𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗪 630 TSS. Now this is, I personally love this setup. I think it is pretty much competes with KRANZLE, if blows more in my opinion. But you do have to be mindful of what nozzles you guys choose. I did use a 3.0 before. I thought that was a little restrictive, and the pressure reading on this was registering about 1400 psi. So I wanted to dial that down. I put a 5.0 nozzle. It brought it down to like around 900 psi, but I believe my gallons per minute is somewhere in like 2.2, 2.3 gallons per minute. So that's something that you want for car detailing, because you do want to rinse this off with your deionized water there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much let this air dry, the whole point of the spot free rinse, and you could avoid scratches. Sometimes if it does leave a spot here or there, it's very, very easy to wipe off with a quick detailer. So I'm gonna put everything that I bought on Amazon in the description below, so just so you guys can buy the pressure washer, the shelf, the MTM Hydro, pressure washer reel, the hoses, everything. So even the deionized system you can get on Amazon. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and this was basically our setup here at Rapstars and what we do to wash cars. So thank you guys.